And let's now talk about the second phase of Jammu and Kashmir elections that have taken place peacefully. Until 7 p.m, the voting turnout has been 54.11%, which is a far cry from what it used to be during the days of the militancy. And to talk about these transformational changes that have been taking place in J&K, we have Ajay Bisaria with us, former Indian High Commissioner to Pakistan. And we have also joined by Lieutenant General Syed Ata Hasnain, former GOC 15 Corps retired, joining us from Gurgaon in Haryana. To you, Mr. Bisaria, first, what do you make in the first place of the fact that not only these peaceful elections have been conducted in two phases so far in Jammu and Kashmir, the turnout has been quite good, and the fact that the External Affairs Ministry also invited diplomats, 15 representatives of 15 foreign countries to witness the elections as well?
Well, I would say this is a welcome move and a smart move by the Ministry of External Affairs for multiple reasons. Jammu and Kashmir, whether we like it or not, has been in the international spotlight. And there have been a number of narratives floating around, which are often fake narratives about an abnormal atmosphere of fear or of different kinds of abnormality. And it is what better way to demonstrate a move towards normalcy than free and fair elections, which are being held in Jammu and Kashmir. So I think that is the most important message for these elections, which are being held after 10 years, to not only tell the people of Jammu and Kashmir, but also the people of the rest of India and of the world that there is a very happy celebration of democracy going on in this region. And I think the fact that these elections are taking place in Jammu and Kashmir is that, this is also a unique situation of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, where a lot of narratives were floated by Pakistan about it being very abnormal or people operating under a great deal of fear. So I think the purpose of this whole exercise of allowing diplomats in is to just demonstrate that India has nothing to hide, and that the elections that are going on are moving the territory towards complete normalcy.
General Syed Ata Hasnain, what do you make of how this transformation is taking place? Because these are elections where they're being held in three phases, which is one really can't recall when was the last time when such a little time was taken and in such few phases elections were held, and even candidates have been able to campaign door to door, which didn't happen for the last nearly 4 decades.
Gautam Saab, there's no doubt about it that these elections are different. I have seen elections in Jammu and Kashmir since 1996, been there almost for every election. And I can vouch for this fact that they have never been so peaceful. I still remember the 1999 elections, the 2002 elections, standing at Avantipur High Ground, watching over South Kashmir. I could see perhaps 20 or 30 places where there were grenade attacks and terrorist actions taking place simultaneously. Here is a completely different situation. You're finding peaceful polling taking place. There has been no loss of lives or anything like that, no IED attacks or anything of that variety, and people are going of their own volition. I think this aspect, I completely agree with Ambassador Bisaria, that this aspect of bringing in diplomats of 15 to 16 countries has been a smart act on the part of the External Affairs Ministry, because not only are these elections free and fair, also completely transparent, but must be seen to be free and fair. And to that effect, we have been at the suffering end of a tremendous amount of Western media propaganda, which has been ongoing for the last many years. And I hope that by projecting this, it may not happen overnight, but such narratives need to be countered completely. Narratives to say that these elections are not free and fair. We know who is the author behind all this. So these are the kind of narratives which we need to now play on to a much greater extent. Pakistan has been playing the influence operations game all these years. I think we need to take the initiative now, as just we have seen, we are taking it and take it to its next level.
Yes, certainly. Ambassador Prasar, do you think that the kind of transparency that India has shown, not just inviting these diplomats from various missions in India to come and see how the elections are being held, as you could also make out perhaps from the soundbite that we played out from one of the ladies who was there, that they were free to interact with the people as well, you know, seek their views or just find out how things have been going for them. Can you imagine that such an access was given to these foreign diplomats in times that were very different, perhaps a decade back?
Absolutely. And I think this has been a new thinking in the government for a while. Even ever since this whole narrative battle has come out in the open. I remember as High Commissioner of India to Pakistan, I had gone to Jammu and Kashmir in 2019, even before the Article 370 move. And I returned to Delhi and advised the government, the Prime Minister and others that we should allow foreign diplomats at least to go to the valley, see at that point the security challenges that the Indian forces were facing and how well they were dealing with them. And then last year, when the G20 was held, there was a special meeting of the tourism group that was held there, and a large number of foreign dignitaries did visit the region. I happened to be visiting also along with them for this meeting. And I think the sense, it achieves two objectives. It allows the world to see the truth, the reality of behind some of the fake narratives that Pakistan tries to throw out. But it also gives the people of Jammu and Kashmir a certain sense of confidence that they are also global citizens, globally connected citizens, and the world is interested in what is happening in their space. And as they move towards normalcy, perhaps people in the world are appreciating that and also celebrating with them.
Certainly. And General Hussain, if I could also ask you in terms of how different again these elections are, even separatists, people of a separatist mindset, leaders, political outfits, which were once the fonts of even, I mean, they had terror links, they're now joining the mainstream by contesting the elections. What does that tell you about how the situation has really changed on the ground in J&K?
See, obviously, Gautam, the change has been so drastic on the ground that many of those who are separatist in their ideologies otherwise, radicalized otherwise, also realize that they are going to get irrelevant in the future if they are not going to participate in the electoral exercises in future. If you are a politician in Jammu and Kashmir, you can't keep on holding on and waiting forever to think or to get a perception that as if everything is now clear for you to be able to appear in the elections. People are just going to reject you. And that's exactly what has happened to parties such as the Jamaat-e-Islami you're seeing. Although it is under ban, but you are seeing at least 10 candidates who have come up on their own as independents and may virtually actually be very important ultimately in government formation as we go along into the future. So you are seeing almost everyone is excited. There was a time when there was just the National Conference and the Indian National Congress. The PDP came in 2002 into prominence. Those are the only parties which were participating in the elections. Now we find multiple parties, and they also decided stakeholders in the possibility of government formation in the near future. So I think this is exciting times to that extent. Indian democracy has really played out very successfully. Our narratives are very clear on this and need to be expounded to the world. And that's the reason why you're seeing these scenes in front of us of people from different countries coming here to certify that the Indian electoral system is perhaps one of the fairest, most transparent systems in the world.
Mm-hmm. And of course, one phase is still to go, 40 seats, so quite a large segment of the state still to be polled. But if that phase also goes as smoothly as the previous two have gone, Ambassador Bisaria, do you think India will have sufficient ground, not that it hasn't had already, to again silence those who still raise questions about how things are being run by India and J&K, especially after the abrogation of Article 370, after taking away the special status?
Absolutely. And I think an effectively functioning democracy is the best rebuttal that can be made to people who try to promote fake narratives. There has been a fake political narrative that was promoted by Pakistan for decades. And I think, just the visuals that you're showing on television and just the what General Hussain mentioned about the kind of mood among the people and even those who held a different view is the best rebuttal you can have. You don't really need to make a long argument there. Just watching this democracy at work and functioning effectively is a strong enough statement about the way things are going in Jammu and Kashmir.
Right, right. Ambassador Bisaria and General Hussain, thank you so much for joining us and talking about it this evening.